Welcome everyone to Round the Table with CulinArt Group. This is our brand new edition. We're part of the Compass Group family of great companies. And with us today, we're going to talk about something very tangible for all of our operators listening today, very tangible for all of our corporate personnel listening today, and that's reopening or reimagining our business with purpose and intent. And we have three very special guests with us here today. We have Ann Pendleton, VP of Retail Strategy for Compass Group North America. We have John Drexel, VP of Operations for CulinArt Group. And we have Eric Smith, Director of Dining Operations at Rowe Price out in the Maryland area. And they'll all be sharing their perspectives on reopening with purpose and intent. We're very lucky to have Ann Pendleton with us. So Ann, maybe you can take us through a little bit of your background with Compass Group and talk about some of the proactive programs that you're working on right now as we reignite these businesses across the company.
Sure. Well, again, thrilled to be here and happy to give, I guess, quick snapshot of my background. I think one of the great parts of Compass is you can have many chapters in a career all under one umbrella, but several different experiences. And certainly my career path sort of speaks to that. Came into the Compass family actually working at Levy Restaurants. So was overseeing marketing communications for both the sports and entertainment and restaurant portfolio. Then moved over to the education sector and was part of a rebranding, overseeing marketing communications there. And then moved to Compass at Google Global Team, which was a really exciting time to connect with other countries and, various sectors that are involved in bringing the Google food program to life. And then just about the start of the pandemic, Susie, the CEO of Envision Group, likes to tease me that I took on this role, and then the pandemic hit. But it's been an exciting time, certainly, not the easiest time, but, it's a moment for us to really rethink our approach to future state. And my role as the head of retail strategy for the Envision team is kind of three key areas, both the product strategy as it relates to retail. So think beverage, snacks, grab and go, coffee. The place, so I think many of you are familiar with the market portfolio and most recently introduced the Market Cafe. And then third is retail training and making sure our team members, the front lines, are feeling equipped, prepared, and excited to deliver on these experiences. And those are kind of the three things that I focus on day in and day out.
Well, we love hearing from you, Ann, and we love hearing about these programs. And you mentioned a couple of interesting things that I'd like to unpack for a moment before we move on to John and Eric. But you mentioned the vastness of the opportunity at Compass Group, which is always nice to see. I've heard Rick Post mention that many times at zone meetings, talking about your one-stop shop for your career, because the company is so vast and there's so many different arms and so many great companies that make up Compass Group. You can really spend your entire career in different avenues and learn an awful lot. And talk about reimagining the business. That's probably something that came in very handy for you personally as we kind of navigate through this pandemic. What are some of the things, Ann, that you're working on? You mentioned the beverage initiative, but some of the things that you're working on as we reignite these businesses. And make no mistake about this, ladies and gentlemen, there is light at the end of this tunnel. We see positive momentum moving forward in all the sectors of Compass Group, which is absolutely terrific. So what are some things that you're working on specifically, Ann, that you're reintroducing to our field operators?
Sure. Well, just to underscore your point, it is a very cool spot to be in, that you can have so many chapters of a career all and working with a lot of the same people. And in this role specifically, work with, some of my colleagues from the sectors I've been a part of, but also, peers from past roles. And that's a really cool thing to think about. What are some of the best practices we can collectively learn from and apply as we're all sort of in this together and really understanding what the future state holds. So we've been thinking a lot about the future state, both supporting the very near-term opportunity of return to business and likely returning in waves. So how are we smart about that phased approach, but then making sure that approach leads straight into the future, and we're really designing for scalability and future state. And certainly that's thinking about our people first, our customer first. Certainly there's some sustainability and broader goals in there, but also really being able to connect people through the experience and connect through technology. That's a really big focus for us in terms of overall enablement. In making sure that we can, again, scale for the future.
That's great. And it changed. We're reminded of this consistently because we're in the business every day. However, a year has gone by, roughly, since this pandemic began, and society has changed. The way people interact has changed, and our business model has changed. So to go into it for our operators that are listening, without that mindset of change is a mistake, because things are different and things will get better. So that's terrific, Ann. Thank you very much. And John Drexel. John Drexel is a VP of Operations for CulinArt Group. And John handles our Mid-Atlantic region. He's in the Maryland area. So John, from your vice presidential experience, dealing with our partners, dealing with our clients, maybe tell us a little bit about the area, a little bit about yourself, and then a little bit about taking these programs that Ann mentioned to fruition with our clients and our customer base. John Drexel, it's all you.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you for making me a part of this group today. I appreciate it. So I've been with CulinArt for 17 years. Within the Mid-Atlantic region, I operate business in Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, a couple pieces in Florida, as well as Colorado. Those pieces in Colorado are attached to businesses in those other areas. That's why it's kind of fallen that way. I work very closely with Eric. Eric is probably our premier account in Maryland, Rowe Price, and we operate all these B&Is throughout this region. One of the things that I think has happened with the changes and what Ann was talking about is recently we were able to open up a new piece of business in Colorado. We opened that business, and it was the first cafe that we've opened that has totally cashierless options. We opened with Eatify as an app basis, and also Next Step registers, which are totally order and pay. So it's worked out extremely well at that location so far. Customers love the app. They love the Eatify app. It's something once they download it, they don't have to worry about payment. They don't have to worry about having any issues with the system. The beauty to it again is you can take and reorder items. For example, if you had a great cheeseburger yesterday, Thursday you call that order up and you can order it exactly the same way again. That from a user standpoint, I think it's a great service. I think the pandemic has brought a lot of technology changes that were coming into our workspace and just accelerated them. Like cashierless certainly was a thing of the future, the very near future, but now it's here. And more clients are going that way. And I think the pandemic really just exasperated that. Eatify as a system, one of the other things that we found is the check average is about 15 to 20% higher than traditional systems. And there's two reasons for it. Number one, the customer is captures everything they want to add on. If they want to add on bacon or whatever, it's captured. But secondly, it also intuitively suggests changes to them. Do you want to add cheese? Do you want a beverage with this? Things like that. So it really pushes the whole sales piece for us. So it does a lot. It reduces cost to your client, especially in a subsidized situation, because it's going to reduce labor costs, but it's going to drive sales, which really, obviously cornerstone of what we do.
John, it's so interesting you mentioned that, and I'm so glad Ann is here to hear that, right? But we are not, scaling back our services. One thing in the hospitality industry, specifically at Compass Group and CulinArt Group, we're not scaling back our services. We're enhancing and reimagining our services for the new world, which is a big difference. So when you mention check average, that's really interesting, right? Because even in the midst of this pandemic, we can reimagine the process and still drive the business forward, all the time.
Sure. And we have some clients where, because of the situation, they have resources available to them now that weren't before, or weren't in such a higher degree. I.e., if they had an OCS program, office coffee program, that cost a lot per person. Well, if people aren't in drinking that coffee, those funds can be reallotted to different things. And I don't want to take too much of Eric's thunder, but one of the things that we've been able to do is some home meal replacement for people. During the holidays, we did meal kits that, we enhanced services. We didn't take anything away by doing this. So we're basically reallocating. Saving labor where we need to save labor, saving costs where we need to save costs, but reallocating that to expand on that customer experience.
Well, that's great.
That's what our clients are looking for.
John, when you're presenting to these clients and these partners, how are they reacting to what Ann spoke about, what Eric will speak about, and what you just talked about a little bit, this reimagined idea of the business?
I think overall it depends on the client, but most of them thirst for this. They're looking for us to bring these things to them. What's next in the marketplace? What is it going to look like when we come back? One of my challenges is getting the clients to commit to make the changes so that when we come back, and if that's July or September or whatever it is, that we're ready to do that. I think, I do a lot of work with Envision on the construction side in that group. And that's one of the things that we've been pushing. If there's projects, let's get them in, let's get them up and running so we're ready for when business comes back. Because it's not going to be fair to our clients, and it's not going to be fair to us if at the last minute everybody turns around in July and says, hey, we need to upgrade these systems or change these things out. That's really one of the keys that I've been pushing is this is a perfect time to get this construction done, get these amenities adjusted so we're ready when we come back.
Right. And what Ann was mentioning also, we see opening up in stages or waves. We don't see it opening up all tomorrow, but it's going to be a rush. And already we see that. We see the clients or partners, beginning to loosen things up. School districts, areas of the country are loosening up. The vaccine is being implemented. So this is exciting for us, and not only as a country, but certainly as a company. We have our operators listening today, not just at CulinArt, but across Compass Group, and they're looking for some tangible ideas and concepts that they know are working as they begin to reactivate their businesses. So we couldn't be more thrilled to have you, Eric.
Thanks, Matt. It's great to be here, and it's great to be with this group of people because this is a very distinguished bunch of individuals. With Rowe Price, we've been here every day since the pandemic. We have not stopped. We have not shut down. Just to let you all know a little bit about me, I've been here at Rowe Price as of tomorrow will be my 17th year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I've been with CulinArt every day since CulinArt took over this account 7 years ago. We're just about at that 7-year mark, so that's a great thing to be a part of. So that's a little bit about me. And I think one of the things that you had alluded to is, you know, when it comes to what we've done to keep our clients happy and be innovative in the process, as we started with, you know, contactless ordering pretty much right from the get-go.
You actually pioneered that technology for CulinArt Group. And, you know, because Rowe Price did not close at all, a lot of the technology that you and your team has implemented across the company, you know, we started first at Rowe Price in the Maryland area because they never closed.
I think that's one of the coolest parts to see, right? And that's where we learn, you know, it's the idea, but obviously implementation, and somebody like Eric, who has such rich experience kind of giving feedback and improving that. That's where it's, you know, the ideal dynamic.
I think one of the great things too, Ann, is that everything that we've gotten from Envision and from that part of what your team does is we've been able to take the market snacks and the market pieces and the retailing and reimagine it. You know, we're constantly looking at something and going, oh my, you know, we've got all these snack type items and snack boxes, but we're working from a digital platform. How do we get our customers to really understand what we're doing? And we've been able to, you know, market that through different avenues with Rowe Price, whether it's to market that with their innovative teams. We have brand new menu boards that came online this week. So we've been racing around today trying to check out which buildings have gotten the new updates. And it's really exciting because Ali Bernardi's team did a great job with the marketing pieces and getting us really vivid photos of the food, because CulinArt has always been that food first, you know, food forward company. So it's been really exciting to see that pop up, and we know that that's going to drive more sales to us. But some of the other things that we've implemented, and, you know, as John said, we did home meal kits, but what we've started to do is start to create snack boxes. And that way it gives us another venue to get out there. And we're all doing that through a wireless platform. We have a section that's snacks, and they can go in there and they can get Valentine snacks for their loved one, or they can just get regular snacks for the kids to take home in the afternoon, because we do have some people that come in the office every single day and they have to go pick up kids from daycare, or they have to pick them up from sports, and they want to be able to make sure that they've got something for them. So it's been really interesting what we can do.
Eric, tell me about, and that's wonderful. And we love to hear that. It kind of connects all the dots, if you will. And that's another great reason why we wanted to have this round the table series and have all these levels connected for our team to kind of see and glean from. But talk to me, Eric, a little bit about these ghost kitchens that I hear so much about throughout not only Ann's group, but through our marketing and brand strategy team. Eric mentioned Ali Bernardi. We have Ali Bernardi, our VP of Marketing and Brand Strategy, and Jenna Spada, who's our executive producer of this Round the Table series. So we thank them very much for all their help in putting this whole program together, this Zoomcast, if you will. But talk to us a little bit, Eric, about those ghost kitchens. What does that mean to our operators?
Well, it's kind of what we've become, is we've kind of become a ghost kitchen, because we've really lost our face when it comes to that personal interaction, where a customer can come down, order their food, they've got somebody to talk to, and we're kind of doing it on the back end of it. So now they order from, you know, their mobile platform, whether it's their handheld device or they can do it from their desktop computer. But once they get that done, they come in, and that's where our customer service really gets to shine. You know, we've got people out there, we're putting their orders together, although they're just going to go over to a central area and pick it up and take it with them. We've really got our servers and our chefs out there, and they're actually talking to the customers to make sure they've got everything. Do you have enough condiments in your bag? And did you get everything? Were you able to use the app properly? And I think our staff has really taken it to the next level. They've really taken customer service and kind of embraced it. And although we're down to, just 2 or 3 people that are hourlies, even the managers have taken a really great interest because they want to make sure the customers gotten that great experience that they always had with us, but now they're doing it in a different manner. And I think that's the big thing.
Well, so much important information was in that few minutes that you spoke, Eric, but one item I'd like to underline for all of us is that guest service excellence piece. So even though we're reimagining the business through technology, right, and contactless ordering, etc., we're not forgetting about that guest service piece. Because at the end of the day, and you've heard me mention this many times on this broadcast, we are a hospitality company. So making sure that we're not losing that guest interaction and not providing that quality service and food wrapped in that safe environment is extremely important, Eric. So wonderful. Thank you so much. John, as we kind of finish things up, and Ann, I'm going to go to you last. Any parting thoughts for our operators and our team members, John, that are looking at this now? They're beginning to reopen with purpose and intent. They're corralling the company resources. So if you're opening or if you're close to opening, there's a large support team there to assist you, not only at CulinArt, not only with Ann's group, but at Compass Group at large as well, that are ready to assist. So John, any words of wisdom, if you will, that we would give to any operators who are just beginning to now reimagine and reopen the business?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're words of wisdom, but I think one of the most important things in this time is, and it's always important, right, is communication, but especially now, if your clients start talking to you about what they have or what they think they're gonna reopen as, engage your DM, engage your VP, engage people, because all of the tools that we have in our toolbox in the Compass world and in our group, like I said earlier about the Envision folks on the construction side, all of these other pieces that are there, the DM and the VP are really going to be, you can do it to help bring that together and really drive value back to that client. So I think that's the important thing, that those conversations with you and your client that might be even offhand, you bring those back so that people can follow up and
That's
get more
great
information to people.
Thank you, John. And that was very, very wisdom filled. I thought that was very good.
I'm at that age, man.
Yeah. And Ann, again, thanking you for your valuable time. We have a lot of operators listening to this Zoomcast today. We have a lot of people throughout CulinArt and Compass Group. As we begin to reopen with purpose and intent, any parting thoughts that you'd like to share with the team?
I mean, several great examples given today, in operation that Eric mentioned and John mentioned, but I think, being as Compass often is, future minded, like innovative. And I think thinking about how do we deliver still a great experience through menu, food options, and that hospitality piece, where are we finding the efficiencies, through digital technology, ghost kitchen models, and then, being growth minded. I think thinking creatively, like getting food to where the people are, and whether that's that retail kit, special occasion, take home dinner, or mobile device and connecting through digital. I think thinking about how we change the model a little bit, and get food to where the population is, our customers are.
Well, and we are a leader. I mean, we talk about best in service. We talk about an industry leader. Compass Group is an industry leader. So it's no surprise that we're pioneering this technology. We're pioneering this people and purpose, intent piece, because that's what we do, right? We pioneer these programs. So Ann, I can't thank you enough. John Drexel. Oh, you're very welcome, Ann. Thank you for joining us. John Drexel, thank you so much.
My pleasure, Matt. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome, Eric Smith. We appreciate all that you're doing for the company.
Thank you, Matt. We really appreciate it.
No problem at all. And to all of our watchers and our listeners, this is Matthew Santarpia signing off for Around the Table with CulinArt Group. Stay tuned for our next episode. Thank you for all that you do. And we're so happy that you got a chance to listen and watch us today. And we will see you next time. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.